Namaste, welcome everyone. This is my first real video I wanted to make, and to open this all up, I want to discuss my health journey, my story, what led me to this point in my life where I'm beyond blessed, very happy how things have all opened up for me, and I'd like to kind of use that as well as to convey from what I've seen a very intricate and divine plan that's just for those who are maybe at a point of their life where things aren't adding up, making sense. I think this story, having come full circle for me now, will give a lot of people hope to look out for the signs in their life that's trying to bless them and to take advantage of opportunities that on first glance aren't that appealing. So let me just start with how as a kid until 16, 17, I really wasn't aware that I had health problems. I was malabsorbed from a young age, never really been able to put on weight. I developed muscle quite well in my late teens as I started working out, but it wasn't like I was growing tissue as much as I was just tonifying and enhancing the strength in my body. So wasn't really aware what health meant, but still not really experiencing any severe health issues until around 16, 17 years old. I just graduated school in November. January, February fell, and out of nowhere I remember being free of school in my house with my friends. My parents were away and we were hanging out, playing video games. I know we were just having fun, doing what kids do, I guess. And I remember distinctly waking up one morning, all my friends were at my house, sleeping upstairs, and they come down to me. It's really late in the morning, and it came out of nowhere like I had a severe cramping, ripping, just sticky pain right here. Now I learned later, transverse bowel, descending link, I had a buildup of mass not being eliminated in there, despite still going to the toilet. Actually, I thought nothing was necessarily wrong, and I wasn't educated on the colon, but I was more thinking something to do with glands. I was looking online, the fear of cancer and all this stuff. Turns out, anxiety, genetically weak adrenal glands, putting pressure on the nervous system, mixed with a dehydrated cooked diet, I was just backing up food inside of me, and that pain was the only reason I was eliminating food. Really was because the food I'd eaten the night recently were putting pressure on the already backed up impacted food, and it was just pushing it out. Now this isn't that common, but it's not uncommon, and it's going to become more and more common where people aren't eliminating what they're eating straight away, and that might not seem like a big problem, and a lot of people aren't aware of it. And this is another video I'm going to make that comes into more body awareness and the reason why some people are suffering and others aren't, despite being able to note that there are a lot of people that look like they should be suffering but just seem to be getting by. And this comes down to body awareness, and I'll go into this more with why other people are more body aware and what that entails. I'm actually very passionate and excited about that topic. I thought I'd start with this because this is the foundation of who I am, and I want people to be able to receive that quite well and understand where I'm from, what's conditioned me to be this way, the nature of this person. So, back to the health thing. I was really suffering that. I went left, right and center to figure out answers. I went to the medical specialists, I went to naturopathic doctors, and I won't even go into what they were trying to figure out, but years of looking, no conclusion. And through that, ups and downs, I was going through a lot of things internally. Obviously colon, emotional link, huge. But dead, dehydrated food's not going to help. A lot of things were leading up to that, and obviously me being genetically predisposed to things, but fundamentally more body aware, and this is where I could feel my colon stretching out of place. Whether I have a prolapse or something, not important. That's what took me to that point in my life. Now that's when I was kind of becoming more aware. This was post 2012, this is precession of the equinox, and you can look into all this stuff if you're interested in New Age and things like this. But becoming more body aware, Kundalini awakening, stuff like this is where I was kind of unknowingly emerging into this new reality that I was just open to life. That's how I've been since a kid, just a seeker of truth, like a magnet to the stuff. Just wherever I went, truth hit me, or maybe I hit truth. But what a blessing. However, no remedy for that in natural medicine, in Western medicine. The pharmaceutical route didn't even work, obviously. That was the onset to some deeper health problems, which at the time, obviously, I had no idea what was coming. So about a year or two in, it started to level out. I met my partner at the time, high school relationship thing. Actually, she had the same kind of symptoms, completely different cause. Root cause was totally different. I thought I had a gluten intolerance and stuff like that, but that leveled out. And around that time, I started exercising. So I used kind of the relationship fell apart. Me being a cancer, I was very empowered to make a stand for myself, and I went and started working out at the gym. So for the first time, really putting work into my body. Felt great for like 6 to 8 months, really going well. I started working at that time after having transcended this health issue of not being able to wake up and just live my life. I spent an hour to 2 hours in the morning with severe pain. So started working out more and enjoying my body. Obviously creating more acid, more activity, more involvement, which throughout my childhood, first maybe 8 to 14, quite active, but not too active. So stagnant in my lymph system, not really moving my body properly, getting enough sunlight like I am now. I'm like a solar panel these days. Things just weren't right from early on. So now that I'm starting to incorporate things, it was like a ticking time bomb on my body, and I was loading it with activity, the gym. I was smoking weed at the time, never big on cigarettes. Couldn't tolerate drinking since a kid, actually. Liver really sensitive, just back to body awareness. Very, very sensitive to things. Even my nervous system now, I can't really handle stimulation. Even if I'm near someone, it feels like they're touching me. I can just feel their energy, their aura is like, it's a gift, but it can be heavy. So always really sensitive to stuff like this. And getting in the gym more, creating more acids, wasn't aware that I wasn't healthy. I've never known true health, so I was adjusted to something that was quite unhealthy. And there's a quote that I've heard recently that it's no measure of health to be adjusted to something profoundly unstable or unhealthy. So just because you aren't sensitive to it doesn't mean you're healthy. If it's an unhealthy environment and you can't feel it, you're unhealthy. So at that time, working out and stuff, I was getting better, but it was still there. I was dealing with it and just put myself into life, like I'd gone through a breakup, I'd gone through health issues, but I was just passionate to not let things get in my way. Like I didn't want to just give up. And I met a man at a gym one day. I was very sick, and I was in there on my own, just feeling like that day I just felt sick, and I was in there on my own working out, and I saw this older fellow at the door with his bag, rummaging through, trying to find his key to scan in the door, start working out. He had his knee up with his bag on his knee. I'm like, what is this bloke doing? Like, wouldn't you get your key out before you get to the door anyway? So I walked over there, had my earphones in, like I'm not really trying to talk to anyone. I opened the door and just walked away, and forgot about him, honestly. 2-3 minutes later, I'm working out. He comes and sits down right in front of me and just looks at me. I'm like, what does this old bloke want, honestly? Took my earphones out and just looked at him and said, I don't even know why I'm here, mate. That was the first thing I said to this guy. I don't know him, never felt like I'd been his friend since I was born. Like, I'll drop that gem there then, just to lead back to later by saying, I made a good friend. And I'll get to why I said that. But as I started with the activity and stuff like that, my body started getting loaded more and more. So developed more skin issues, developed more joint problems here and there, just a bit sticky, nothing painful, but I could feel like twinges in my back. At that time I was working in a retail store doing sales, but also doing like lifting and stuff like this. So and this is a good year and a bit of doing physical activity, I felt a twinge in my back. So little things happening. At the same time as that, I was developing the skin issue, like I said. Nothing severe, mild acne, but I wanted to remedy, you know. Not everyone has this. What's the go? I'm trying to figure it out. Go to doctor for answers. You figure they know what they're doing. They put me on Accutane. Or actually, I heard about Accutane and that it had good results. So I was actually interested to get on it. I actually kind of made that happen. Trying to like reverse psychology on the dermatologist. So I actually manifested that, and that is fundamentally the reason why I got fibromyalgia. So, which we'll get into what unfolded there, but put me on Accutane. Now at the time I didn't know that drug was a chemo drug of a pH around the same level of acidity as chemotherapy. I had no clue. And honestly, being as brainwashed and conditioned as we are, I probably wouldn't have flinched. I took that drug a little higher dosage sometimes just because I felt like my body wasn't absorbing it. And back then I didn't know what malabsorption was, so I was kind of right. And if I wasn't malabsorbed and I was taking this drug, I think it would have probably done a lot more damage, because being on chemotherapy, micro-dosing small capsules, in opposed to 2 weeks on chemo with big doses in the IV, like I was on it for a year, small doses, or over a year. At the same time as still working out. So you can imagine what happened. It took about maybe 4 months before I started getting cramping in my leg, joint problems, and little things that would come and go. Now at the time, I was fortunate that old bloke I met at the gym ended up being either a friend from a past life, but forget that, he's just a really good friend in this life now. That's all I'm certain on, but we can all sense certain things when we meet people, and I think we've had eons together, and it was him that, fortunately, I won't even go into his story now, but if anyone's interested, I'll be willing to open up about that, do a video on more details around him, because he's a very interesting man. He's, call him my mentor, but we're each other's mentor. We've helped each other tremendously in this path since we met each other. Since we met each other, things just came on. It was just time, and it's even more time now, but very thankful for him and his knowledge and abilities. He began remedial massage on me. He's unbelievable with his hands. So clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, for anyone that's not looked into this stuff, is very sensitive with his abilities, kind of like psychic, if you will, and he can kind of sense my pain from across the room and stuff like this. So this guy is a gift to work with. We didn't know what was coming with my body when we met. Like, all I had was this problem here, and eventually, as the friendship slowly and naturally developed, I realized the years of meditation, the years of being in the church and stuff like that he was involved in. He learned a lot leaving the church after waking up and realizing the conditioning and the robotic nature of these people. Is a very interesting path this man's been on, and I've been able to help him in my own way as he's helped open me up, kind of set the stage for who I was then to become. Before all the fibro and all these severe things that started unfolding, he was with me doing work, and he remediated these knots in my body, the spasms and stuff like that. Then I went to America around a year into taking the drug, just before a year. I stayed there for about 6 to 8 weeks. This was in 2016. Can't remember. I don't remember much. It's a really good thing about me. So I stopped taking it just as I got home, because I realized as it got more severe, after all the cramps and stuff developed, one day I woke up and realized I'm severely unwell. Like, my body head to toe, I had inflammation, pain everywhere. I had severe arthritis in my toes, my feet, the arches of my feet would ache. I couldn't barely stand up. And when I did force myself to stand, like at work and stuff, the pain was tremendous. And without him remediating, loosening up this heavy agglomulation and stagnant, like rock muscles and my nerves. My nerves were the main problem. Without the soothing of the nervous system and releasing the tension, I would have gone into like this complete solid, like everything was locking up. I had no articulation in my muscles. I was like a robot that would just like a damn Star Wars thing, 4 legs. And even with him loosening my body, literally 5 to 7 days a week, and sometimes we would go up to 3 hours. And this dude was 71 at the time, with a bad hip. 2 bad hips, 1 really bad hip, nearly needed a hip operation. We got him on all these protocols, parathyroid glandulars, just alkalizing the body. Good genes, old bloke, farm boy, raised on natural farmland. Like, his legs are already better. He can walk properly, like he has pain, but if he goes to the doctor, they're not asking him to replace the hip anymore. They want to because they just love cutting things, but it's no need. Anyway. So I turn into pretty much an invalid, even with him there. So let's say I wasn't blessed enough, let's say I wasn't open to life, loving, compassionate person that wanted to open a door. That day I would never have really met him. I may have seen him and never known the potential that was there. But what was ahead for me was always going to be ahead for me. Like, this stuff was going to unfold, whether or not I met him. Started taking that just around the time that I did meet him, a little bit after, before we got quite deep into the relationship. And I would be going to his house after a few months of meeting him, and I used to hang out with my friends all the time. I'd be going to his house and meditating every weekend when I wasn't working, and my friends, where are you? I'm like, oh, just working on unwinding emotional trauma and dealing with past life karma. What about you? So I was pulled in that direction by the divine. Grace was assisting me to let go of a lot of stuff before things really started to unfold with my body. Getting a bit of a head start, just trusting my intuition. It's kind of how I've always been. I didn't really recognize that until the last 4 or 5 years. I'm seeing who I was so naturally without thinking is what a lot of these masters try and teach. I'm not saying I'm enlightened, but my nature is more predisposed to be in alignment with who we really are, rather than like being so conditioned and believing yourself to be a person. That's a heavy burden to carry. So I would just open to things, more open, more free flowing, not so goof. That was what really allowed me to be who I was when this all unfolded, so that I could make something of it and not just fall. So being a magnet to truth, like I said, him and I remediating my body, getting things to loosen as I kept studying online, trying to figure something out. I went through different people in health. Man, let's forget all the nonsense of learning and talk about when I found people like Dr. Sebi, the China study, that fat, sick and nearly dead, whatever, juicing, John Rose, Robert Morse. When I found Robert Morse, shivers just happened again. And when I found Robert Morse, the first video that he just uploaded most recently, Q&A number Accutane. I'm just like, how? So I click it and I already knew. At that moment, I'm just like, I've arrived. I watched that video, and everything that I was not able to articulate to my parents, even to the people that were receptive and trying to understand what I was going through, I still couldn't get through to them, let alone people that were just completely resistant, like, oh, it seems like there's a problem there, but if we really look at it, it's gonna hurt our emotions, so let's pretend that what you're going through doesn't really exist. So I had words for this now. It actually made sense. Someone understood what Accutane does. It was confirmation for me. And I swear I burst into that field so quickly, I was probably watching videos more than I was sleeping and absorbing this information, already on a juice fast. So I found John Rose, started a juice fast, maybe a month in to the juice fast, I found Morse. I ordered herbs straight away, and I just studied. I did 100 days on juice, moving things out of my bowels the whole time. It's over 3 months. Constantly drinking nothing but liquid, obviously, no fiber, but still eliminating. And that was like 3% of what I've gotten out of my body since then. So 100-day juice fast, that helped a lot. Symptoms didn't go away. In fact, Morse talks about this, that when you stop chemo, there's a blowback. So as my body dug into detox, I started like kicking all this acid out that was preserved in my tissue real nicely and comfortably sitting there waiting to pop out again. So essentially my tissue burning up as I'm fasting was like I was taking the drug again. I didn't really get remedy until 100-day juice fast. I did 3 months on herbs. Before I finished the 3 months, I'm like, I know how sick I am. How long it took me to just get filtering? It was like 2 or more, 3 months. It was over 3 months. I had to start going to the sauna and really investing that way to get things to open up. My kidneys were so bad, in fact, I couldn't even lay down in bed. My back was burning, like severely. My whole body was burning. Systemic acidosis, fibromyalgia, autoimmune, head to toe inflammation, and no doorway open to eliminate stagnant cellular metabolic waste. So I stayed on herbs for a year straight, basically. Full protocol, more or less. Kidney, herbs, lymphatic, stomach and bowel. I had hypothyroid. My blood pressure wasn't that bad, but I still had adrenal issues. Everything was bad. Mainly my nervous system was fried, and that's where I put a lot of my focus into trying to soothe that. But still no remedy. Now, when we talk about the nervous system, if the nerve has been damaged, that's one thing. We're trying to regenerate that by alkalizing, hydrating. But when it comes to the nervous system, if you're not utilizing calcium, nervous system, the bones, nerve function, connective tissue, joints, even muscle. And this is why I was never really able to grow muscle. My parathyroid was not utilizing calcium. That was my main issue. So I never really fully healed, although I got significant relief in my kidneys. Everything started to enliven, but I wasn't regenerating fully. Like my body just wasn't rebuilding. And around 10 months in, I got told to do a water fast. My body instructed me. I started craving water. And up until then, I wasn't really open to the idea of that. I just wanted to heal doing like, not depriving myself, you know? I didn't really want to do that. But when I realized I had to, I was quite excited actually about it and passionate about doing what I needed to do. I've always wanted to, I like being motivated to go as far as I can, and that's what happened. So I did the water fast. I didn't set a date, just the same with the juice fast. I just went until I went. I got 16 days in. We can go into great detail about that. And anyone that wants to ask questions pertaining to any of these things, I'd love to open up about it. I don't want this video to be too long. But 16 days in, I started getting, maybe a bit earlier, 10 days in, I broke at 16. I started getting up really thick mucus from my throat, like it was actually being pushed out of my throat, like out of the tissue around the throat, thyroid, parathyroid area. So hypothyroidism already. You can assume low parathyroid function if in my iris you didn't already see very weak genetics, the same as my mother who has scoliosis, bone problems. She had fibromyalgia, and that's one of the reasons why there was no real concern at first, because it's like she had this idea that she's experiencing the same exact thing because we have the same thing, not knowing that if she was experiencing the pain I had, I was like, Mum, if you're going through this, I know how you get up every day, like. So I was genetically predisposed, and that's the thing is genetics load the gun, diet, lifestyle, pull the trigger. So that's what happened to me is my weaknesses were exposed, whereas someone else, my partner being on this Accutane drug, had similar joint problems and stuff like that, but her hair started falling out a bit, not fully, but just little bits here and there, and it's like, that's what happens on chemo, man. So it's like, wherever you're weakest, my hair's pretty thick. I've never had, that's where my mum's hair, genetics are good in her hair, like, sweet. Yeah, so that's what pulls the trigger, is how you treat your body, and the genetics that are weakest are gonna pop their head up first. Like, that's what I got. My recipe was fibromyalgia, and I'm grateful to have suffered that much, because now that I've regenerated my body, I can appreciate it more. Truly appreciate what it is, because I've lost it. So the 16 days, I started getting this mucus up, and I realized, like, this has been inhibiting the function of my gland since I was a kid. Weak genetics already. Then we put lymph stagnation on top of that. So that's like double whammy. I was not rebuilding tissue, not growing muscle. That has affected actually my growth since a kid. Now my pituitary has been quite good, so I've never had any severe problems, but my body's efficiency in building muscle, tissue, joint, nerve, myelin sheath and stuff like that has just been weak. And it shows. So now, yesterday actually was my first day back in gym, so these arms are going to get a little bigger at least in the next few months, and I'm tracking my progress so that I can show like it is possible to gain weight and grow on a raw diet. It's not really about protein, it's about using the muscle, feeding the cells, and how efficient the body is in utilizing, digesting, utilizing, absorbing and eliminating. Put those in the wrong order, but yeah. And I can already tell my body is ready. Like, my body was ready before I had just done my second water fast, which was first water fast 2018 mid-year, so around June I did that. It took about 8 weeks to fully feel that my body was regenerating. I felt things really shifting there. After all that mucus came out, and a lot of mucus came out of my throat. Started out white, yellow, orange, and then brown. It was literally like tar, like just gum bark. Like, oh, I'll show people photos if anyone wants any, but there's a lot of it. And that's just one area I will eliminate it from. So once I relieved the pressure in here and got rid of that issue, my body just came back online. I'd done all the cleaning. I'd filtered out my lymph quite well. Like, obviously there's miles in lymph. It's going to take a lifetime to clean out around all the tissue and the cells. But I got out the inflammation quite a lot. I just wasn't regenerating, and that's where the water fast popped that out, and it was gone. Like, that inability to regenerate had been taken care of, and it literally took, like I said, 8 weeks to fully step into that. I felt it start regenerating. I was more able then to do exercise and move around, because back in the day when I was trying to remediate this, I thought exercise would help. It just made it worse, and it was not getting me stronger. My body atrophied severely, and that's where I'm at now. Is I used to be a little bit more built, but because of the condition, the fact I wasn't able to use my body and an acidic medium, you can't regenerate a body in acidic medium. You just can't. It's like putting a wound in acid and expecting somehow your body to regenerate. It has to be predominantly alkaline environment, otherwise the tissue's just going to stay damaged. And as soon as I brought this back online, everything changed. So I went over to Florida and enjoyed my new healthy body. I thanked Morse in person. That course was amazing. Like, I really took away a lot from that. And I got to meet the man that literally, without charging me a dime, it was my choice to buy his herbs, and they're ridiculously cheap and they're very powerful. But I could have gone elsewhere for that. He didn't charge me anything, and without him, I would have been bedridden for probably ever. No medical medium, no Dr. Sebi would have healed me. And if I had done a water fast from the jump, I would have killed myself, or would have caused way more time sitting there trying to unwind the damage of the water fast, trying to fix the problem, than what I went through, having taken a bit slower, transition, do the juice fast and stuff like that. I was actually unconsciously transitioning to a raw diet, just following trails of information and gradually improving my diet. then when I found John Rowe's juice fasting, I just went all in. Pretty much been raw, fully raw since then. There's been a few windows where I've gone back to cook food, 1 or 2 meals over a week, pulled back out. I've done that maybe 4 times. So I've been like 98% raw, even more than that, honestly. Let's say 20 cooked meals since June 2017, mid-year, 2018, water fast, 1 year after I began the first juice fast. I started the water fast, finished just after 1 full year, regenerated my body from a systemic autoimmune condition in about 13 months, which is rare. I would just gung-ho about it, like I was sauntering for 1.5 hours, 3, 4, 5 times a week, drinking bucket loads of juice, saving the bigger meals for later in the day. I didn't really avoid fat that much. I needed it to nourish and to calm my nervous system, like I said, very sensitive. But you can do this pretty quickly if you know what you're doing, and that's what I feel I offer people that aren't necessarily able to sit and digest hours of videos. Like, I was bedridden, I didn't really have anything else to do. I actually was working for quite a while when I was sick, but like I was driving to work, listening to videos, spending a lot of time. Not everyone can do that, and my ability to apply them were just a little more than others. I just can intuitively feel out what I needed, and I'm gifted in that. When I put myself in another person's shoes during consults and dealing with clients, like, it just seems to flow. I see images of things and I'm just told what to convey, and I'm blessed to have that gift. And that's very similar what my mentor offered me on my journey. Like, this bloke has, without this guy, I can simply say I would not have healed. I probably wouldn't have even found Morse and been able to commit to this information. He's been my rock. He helped me enough to open up to my now partner, Billy Marie, who has supported me in many areas since this condition. She knew this was what was going on with me before she wanted to be with me, and she's still committed. That's a real show of character, and I'll never forget the commitment there. Very blessed for these people, man, because this was all intended, and this is what I wanted to convey, how deep this path goes for all of us. And if we really open up and surrender to the little stuff that seems big in the moment, they're really just the dark forces trying to distract us from this grand plan. There's a path for all of us to step into, and that's only when we stop playing the victim and really see what's in front of us, what's really there, what the divine wants us to utilize. And we get I'm the same still, lost in the little things, the fine print, instead of pulling back and seeing the full image and making use of that. So that's where I'm at now. This second water fast changed my life, and I knew that it would be a spiritual fast, but I could never have anticipated what it gave me. Wow. The first week was just physically exhausting. Now, I've gone through a lot of weird stuff since healing. Emotional, in relationships, in just occurrences. In America, I got in a really bad car crash, damaged all my ribs. I've healed, now I've got this really painful for months. As soon as I got back home, my mental Alec, bro, he literally gave me a massage like a couple times, and it was gone. Like, this guy is healing with his hands, dude. Like, and this is where I'm the same, is that I'm learning. I've always been sensitive and very, you see with your fingers, if you really, really put your attention on that when you massage people, don't think about it, just let your fingers do it. And I got rid of this issue fine, but all these things started coming up for me. And even just the other week, we went to Samoa, and some really tragic things happened out at the beach. They were in a private beach, and luckily my partner wasn't there. She wasn't allowed to fly because her passport was nearly expired. And thank God for that, because we were out. I was with her family, and a bunch of us got caught in a rip. And some people come to help, and this older lady, her auntie, actually got dragged out and passed away in front of us all. Now, I'm glad that my partner wasn't there. She can't really swim, but I've been met with a lot of tragic and wild experiences that for some reason I feel not only protected but guided, and just whatever's been happening, so secure in myself and just in trusting in what is unfolding, knowing that everything is fine. Like it's more than fine. That is what this last water fast gave me, and I can't convey enough. This path, man, is like unreal. Like the growth I've had in who I am in 2 years, I don't know if many people would have that in lifetimes. First week of my 21-day fast, I already knew this was not necessarily about health. I knew it would bring more health, but this was about my spirit. This was about letting go of old, stagnant, emotional debris, waste that has been accumulated in my family lineage for generations, and it was gonna get burned, at least some of it. And very, very drained I felt the first week physically. Like, how am I gonna do 3 weeks? I was set on 21 days for many reasons. Mainly just to help rebalance the bacteria in the body. 3 weeks is really how to bring down the bad bacteria, starve them with nothing to consume, and that brings up the good bacteria, and obviously bacteria being the foundation of pretty much creation, which we are obviously a part of. And I didn't know how I could do it. But after the first week, and it happened week 1, week 2, week 3, different theme. First week, physically weak. Second week, emotionally distraught, but a little bit physically stronger. More energy, more clarity, my mind wasn't melting. And I actually was doing Irish reports, dealing with clients, which I probably shouldn't have been. I don't know how to sometimes just be a little selfish. But third week was like physically amazing, emotionally nothing could touch me. And that's something that hasn't left me since. It's just like I am no longer identified with myself as a person, as this role of Daniel, a healer, or soon to be someone that's here to help facilitate healing on the planet. I don't necessarily see myself as that. I'm more so observing the fact that I'm playing that role. And there's a real freedom in that for me, and I believe anyone that can apply that to their life is kind of realize who you are as awareness, and not get pulled so heavily into identity or buying into the idea of a person. I mean, we are here as a human. We can't deny ourselves and our nature as a human being, but that's only one kind of layer on top of the foundation of ourselves being just pure consciousness. And that's just not some kind of thing I'm saying from my mind, is literally who I am now. I've been open to truth, like I said, studying the masters, fell into all kinds of books when I was younger. Not so heavily in books actually, but scriptures here and there. More listening to masters online, Ram Dass a little bit here and there. But when I found Sadhguru around the time I actually got in the gym and stuff like that, when I was suffering on a more subtle level, that changed my life. That opened it up, but it was more an intellectual, logical kind of comprehension. It wasn't really who I was then. Planting seeds, setting the stage for more direct pointings like Muji and things like this, is where they start to really break down these concepts and try and drill it into you until you kind of shatter this sense of who you are, and it becomes more of essentially you have to kind of break down the mind and refine it with the mind. So it's using itself against itself at first until it becomes your experience, and then once you've transcended that, you can never go back. You can never fall into those patterns again. These kind of potholes get smoothed over, and it's just, you don't get to fall down. You just keep cruising. You let life take care of life, and everything unfolds seamlessly. And that's where I'm at now. I feel like it's not pivotal to be on this diet to get there, but I think if I had have tried doing this, eating a cooked meal, unknowingly seeing that I'm suppressing, because we don't really notice at first, but whether we're aware of it or not, if we're not eating something that simply nourishes and takes care of us, if we're eating things that are stimulating or emotionally suppressive and sedative, you're never going to really grow as much as you could or as quickly as you could, or uncover what's really there as easily or as truly and directly as I think if you just do what's necessary, have a diet that supports you and removes any obstruction or distraction to who you are. It's really hard to stay on a raw and high fruit diet and feel dense and heavy in here and suppress your emotional center. You can overeat on a raw diet and really dull this down, but it takes a lot. It's a lot of effort. It's quite expensive. Big salads, but with a cooked meal, you eat one potato and your lights are off for a week. You can see it in people's eyes now, where I watch people eat cooked food, even if they're on a cooked diet. And you see when they start eating it, just the light goes out. So you got to enliven your body with electrical foods that are at least the same, but often more electric than us. So they support and enrich our nervous system and our energetic presence, not dull us and take from our life force like cooked dead food does, that's vibrating like far lower of a frequency than we are. So that's pretty much it. I don't really know what else I could go into. I don't have any debilitating condition anymore, and it was quite easy. So anyone that's suffering can do this. It's not hard. It really isn't. The hardest part is learning patience and committing to it, because people kind of go on this direction for a bit. 3 weeks in, it's not working. Like, it took me 21 years to get like that, nearly. I don't expect it to happen quick. My mum kept asking me on the juice fast, like, how long are you going to do this for? I'm like, till I heal. But I don't know. It could be a week. No, it wouldn't. At least next week she'd start inquiring again. I don't want to stress her out. She loves me as much as she knows how to. And yeah, just be patient with this path. Don't get redirected. Don't go looking for the next best thing. I tell my clients, when I found Morse, and when you find Morse, you don't need to keep looking. This is the end all be all. It doesn't get more simple, more refined, and yet dead on than this. There's nothing else you need to do. You don't get lost in other fields. You don't get lost in the mind. You just go for pure, simple, nature-based health approach, and everything aligns perfectly. If you really open yourself up and leave everything at the door, what you think you've known, you've been taught, and just be open to what he has to say. And I think you'll find, if you tap into your heart and not your mind, it'll resonate. If it doesn't resonate, just try it. Don't just say nah. Give it a go, for those who haven't really opened up to this. So my health journey has just begun. Early days. I know I got work to do. Someone corrected me for that the other day and said, oh, don't kind of get in your ego about it just because I said I've cleaned out density in my body. Like 2 water fasts, the mucus, the mucoid plaque. I'm not even going to get into what I've been seeing eliminate from my body in colonics and stuff like that. There's a lot we can talk about. Until you've really lived it, it's good that you don't have an idea of what's going on in your body, because a lot of people would just be scared to start. But it's honestly a blessing to do it. It's like a little experiment. And if you're not identified with the person, when you see this stuff coming out of you, it's kind of funny. Honestly, it's like, what has led us to this point where this is even possible to have happen? And that's where I'm at. It's all a game. Don't take it too serious, but it's a blessing. So don't take it for advantage either. Like, just step into it and enjoy it. So yeah, thank you for listening. I don't know how long this has gone for, and if you're still here, clearly you care about this modality. You might invest in me, you might be a friend of mine, or you might be soon to be a friend of mine that's just open to who I am and receptive to kind of who you're capable of becoming. Someone that's really quite grateful for the simplest of things. I don't own much, I don't do much. I just really enjoy the subtle nature of this life. I had 2 Kookaburra friends here earlier that before I got sick, actually, I used to play a lot of basketball as my body was breaking down as well. And I was in kind of denial. My body was really bad, but I just kept playing basketball. I just loved it. And my mentor were telling me, like, you got to stop because you're not getting better, you're getting worse the more you do this. I kept using my body, breaking body down, creating more acid, like lactic acid, in my body that wasn't being eliminated through the kidneys. These two kookaburras, man, popped up when I started really getting sick. They used to sit on the backboard, they used to sit on the fence, they used to hang out and watch me play. And then when I stopped playing as much, they used to start tapping on the downstairs window like really loud. They got really big beaks. Look it up, kookaburra. And they made me come outside, like, what are you doing? Why are you making so much noise? It's 7 in the morning. They would just come out and start shooting to shut them up. And I'd end up playing for like an hour because it was just like, once I start shooting, anyone that plays sport, especially basketball, you get one hoop, you get two hoops, you're like, can't stop. It's like cooked food. And eventually I did have to put the ball down because like I couldn't play anymore. Like I knew I shouldn't, and now I couldn't. And when I really stopped, they started banging on my window like, come on. I'm like, dude, actually, like, you guys have fast-tracked the breaking down of my body so much when I didn't want to play, and now I get convinced to play, then now I can't play. And that's when I went to America for the first time, before I'd healed, before it actually got really bad, which was around a year before the Morse course. 2 years before the Morse course. I'm bad with memory, dude. And when I came back from America, they were gone. Like, I'd not seen them ever again. I'd seen kookaburras, but I know these kookaburras. Like, I know them now. Like, there's 2 of them. They always kind of share the same energy. They're real different. I've seen many kookaburras, and they all look very similar, but you can just distinguish. And they're back, man. They're back. And this is why I said at the beginning, full circle, because time, man. This planet is waking up. And before I had this full condition, my mentor and I were very deep meditators. He taught me a lot about this stuff. And when I got real sick, all the outer body travel, all these experiences on the other side of the veil for me stopped, gone, and I lost it. And the same thing kind of happened for him. We're very connected. And I lost, not hope, but I lost that spark that the spiritual drives you, man. Like, it just, you surrender to it. You stop living for your own kind of personal egoic pleasure, and it's just like divine will is all that I allow to be moving out through my being. Like, there's no kind of vested interest I have in my personal life. It's like, this is all surrendered to God as the universe. There's no kind of thing I worship. I will worship this grass, myself, crystal, this orgonite pendant that broke, Joe, my brother Joe in Arizona. The glue that woman uses broke on mine too, bro. And this is one of the kookaburra feathers, actually. Today this fell off, and today I just knew. I've been putting this video off for ages, and I had to do it today. I can't keep letting time slide by. I'm growing tremendously by just allowing things to unfold. But I gotta start getting out there, because what I've been given, I can't squander it. I'm not too eager to be this person. I don't want a spectacle. I don't want a large following. I don't want people to look up to me at all. It's kind of annoying to me, the effort I feel to put into this, when I know that people can really tap in and do this for themselves. But there are people right now that don't think that. They don't believe that they can do this, and that's where, like, I guess without knowing it earlier on in my life, I did look up to people and didn't necessarily, I wasn't consciously doing it, but I was utilizing that. But I never looked at it like I needed that. And I have to share who I am now and what I've been given, so that others know that it's right there. Don't worship anything, don't look up to anyone. I'm no better than anyone else. Like, I'm just maybe a little further on in my journey than you are, and you could take it further than me. Very early days, it's just beginning, so it's full circle. The kookaburras are back. This planet is starting to wake up now, and I'm ready to get deeper into the spiritual work, to put myself out, convey that there is so much promise on the horizon, and no matter how things seem on a personal level, no matter how much we're getting pulled into the victim mentality of, oh, I'm suffering this, like, you've got to let go. And it might take you exhausting yourself with these kind of dynamic, like, complex in your mind that's telling you to play this role until it just collapses from within you. And that's kind of when you start to begin to wake up and become free. And that's when you'll start to heal, because you won't heal as the victim, and you won't regenerate your body holding on to all that anguish. So these kookaburras and I know where they're at. One was in that tree, and one was in that tree. They're not banging on my mirror anymore because they know there's no hoop here anymore. But it's go time, man. I'm really grateful for everyone that's taken the time out to listen to me yabber. It's time to get into some hard yakka, man. God bless. God bless.